Welcome to the Workbench After Hours podcast. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. This is where we talk about the firearms community, shop talk, and everyday life experiences. Welcome back to the Workbench After Hours podcast. This is episode 43. Chris is here with me today, and he's going to tell us what we're drinking.
We are drinking Jameson's whiskey.
Just regular Jameson.
Jameson. So
we've become a very big fan of their Black Barrel.
Yep.
And for some reason, we have yet to have this on the podcast, so we figured we would bring it on.
Yep. So supposedly you're supposed to get a floral fragrance, peppered, spicy, woodsy type notes just from the smell. And then after you drink it, you should get like flavors of your spicy peppers, and it said a little bit of nutty vanilla, but I'm thinking it comes out of a Jack Daniel's barrel, so you should have their heat.
Yeah, that was one thing that we learned on their distillery tour, that they use Jack Daniel's barrels.
Yep.
Jack Daniel's ships them off or something. I've only had Jameson as a shot, so I've never actually tried it on ice. Is that all right?
Yep.
Cool.
Definitely get the floral.
Yeah.
And spice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we got a guest this week, Perry. He's with Right to Bear. I'm going to bring him on here really quick. All right, Perry, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. How's the whiskey?
You know, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's better than what I thought it was going to be.
I still think I prefer their Black Barrel over this, just to get more of a better flavor, I guess, but not bad. So you're with Right to Bear. I think Andrew joined. I'm going to see if I can add him in too. Hey, Andrew, can you hear us okay?
He just texted me and said not on mute. Actually, don't worry about him. He'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. No worries. So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and then how you got in with this self-protection insurance?
Yeah. So, Right to Bear. I'll start with myself. My name's Perry, obviously. When I graduated from the University of South Carolina, I really jumped right into the insurance business and was an insurance agent for about 5 years, and then actually became the insurance agent for Palmetto State Armory out of Columbia, South Carolina. And if y'all are firearms fans out there listening, which I'm assuming that you are, you probably either own or have heard of Palmetto State Armory before. So,
Yep.
one day, my business partner at Right to Bear, we were sitting around and just chatting one day, and wondered if PSA had ever considered doing their own insurance. And we just mentioned it to him in a meeting. The light bulb came on. They brought us in the next day, and they were like, hey, we've heard of it. I think it's a great fit, obviously, for what we do, selling, hundreds of thousands of weapons every single year. We should at least offer some type of protection for all of these individuals. So therein lies, we start Right to Bear, the newest self-defense provider in the country. We're a year old now, which is crazy to think about how fast this year has gone. The changes of the ever-changing of a startup business. I don't know if you guys or anybody out there has ever tried to do a startup, but it's a bear. Literally, no pun intended. So we launched last November, and so we're just about a year, and we've just seen an incredible welcome when it comes to this type of product, especially coming out of COVID, coming out of the 2020 year when it was just like everything. It was just crazy year. We roll out this product, originally marketing to Palmetto State Armory, and now we're out nationwide. We can't offer our product in 3 states due to legal jurisdictions. Would love to know.
They can't own a gun in those states anyway, right?
Yeah,
or it's really hard.
Yeah, I was going to quiz you guys to see if, off the top of your head, what would be the 3 states you would guess that you couldn't sell our self-defense protection in?
New York and New Jersey, probably.
Okay, that's 2 of the 3. So you got one more left.
California.
You would think California, but it's not. Very close though.
Connecticut?
No, Washington State.
Really?
Huh.
So even though, and it's so funny because maybe not so much New Jersey, but Washington State and New York, for the most part of the state is rural, country towns, blue collar people that love America. Then you got your some of the folks in the big city do not like America, do not like guns. They do not like the Second Amendment. They do not want you to have protection. So if you have to defend yourself, they would rather you get killed than you defend you or your family. And now they're having to lock you up. It's sad. So, we looked at the overall landscape of where our country was headed, and then just realizing that, we have a legal system in America, not a justice system. And you have to have people to that you can count on, one, that know what they're doing, two, that are pro Second Amendment, that are going to be willing to bridge that gap for you. And then, if you guys have had any dealings with any attorneys at any point in your life, you realize they are not cheap.
No.
No.
So that's really where Right to Bear comes in, is where self-defense protection is. That if you own a firearm, and you don't necessarily need to, but we really market to folks that own firearms, and especially folks that carry. If you carry, you absolutely need this, because you never know when you're out and about and you see something happening. I mean, you hear it all the time, and you can go on Google and just Google self-defense cases, and you'll laundry list all across the country, even in 2020, 2022. You got to have it. And, we can talk in more details here in a minute about Right to Bear and all that it offers. But the nuts and bolts of it is that if you have an issue, we have an attorney hotline that you would call. So you're going to call 911, let them know, obviously, there has been an emergency, right? You have literally discharged your weapon in defense of you or your family. Now you're going to call our attorney hotline to get one of our attorneys on the phone right there, establish that attorney-client privilege. Once it's established, we're going to pay for all of the fees, whether there is a court proceeding or not. Well, if you didn't have Right to Bear, just calling an attorney and retaining their counsel, you're $25,000, $30,000 just like that.
Yep.
Just to talk to them in a life-threatening situation, and they'll tell you, and they'll hold your hand through the process, and they will be the greatest people of all time. But man, when they hit you with that bill in the mail about 30 days later for $27,500, you're gonna really, really feel it then. And when you look at our plans, our base plan to cover an individual is $11 a month or $125 a year. For the folks that own firearms and the folks that carry, it's almost a no-brainer, right? Like tomorrow, you're gonna run to lunch and sit down at Zaxby's and get, I don't know if you guys have Zaxby's or not, but
Yeah,
you're gonna
do.
go. Okay. You're going to grab a chicken sandwich, fries, and a drink, and you're going to spend $12, right? Well, what we always tell everybody when we're pitching our classes and discussing Right to Bear, it's like, well, what price do you put on your freedom? Like, my freedom's a hell of a lot more than $11 a month, especially when you start looking at what actually comes if you're ever in an incident like that. It's kind of scary, actually, when you think about it. And then you hear people that have had incidents, right? We've had members that, fortunately have never had to use the weapon, but have had an altercation where they needed to call somebody and get counsel on the phone immediately. And they're just trembling because they don't know what comes next. And to have somebody who does know what comes next hold your hand through that process, it's extremely, it provides an extreme level of comfort to those individuals.
I think that's something a lot of people don't think about. They're like, even people that don't carry and just have a gun in their house for home defense. A lot of people just, choose a shotgun because they say they could just point and shoot. A lot of people, especially ones that live in gun-friendly states like us, and, if you can show that you use your gun in self-protection, most people think you're okay, and the police just let you go, and that's the end of it. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff people don't think about, and it all depends on what happened. And
Thinking about where that bullet goes and travels and not knowing too.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed the uncertainty is like, the scary thing is even in the justified shoots, right? Even the no one was hurt kind of thing, but I still did that. That doesn't mean they can't pull you into civil court and deem mental anguish is the hot term in 2022. Now heading into 23 is, I'm never going to be the same. I have PTSD now. I need $50,000, right? And now you got to hire a civil attorney to defend you and protect you from having to pay that individual $50,000. Here's an example I'll give you. It's actually kind of wild considering like my whole life I went 28 years without ever having an issue. Well, we start Right to Bear in November, and now fast forward to February, my wife is at home literally making herself lunch in the middle of the workday, and dude tries to get in our house. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And doors are locked. She's freaking out, runs to the bedroom to grab the gun. Well, he wasn't specifically targeting our house. He was going from house to house, seeing what house he could get into. And fortunately the cops came, but I mean, it's as simple as that person walks through the door and she shoots him. Okay. Dude's dead in our kitchen. And what do you think my wife is thinking? Like, there are no thought that
Yeah.
I've got to call the police. Something horrible's happened. Now I need counsel. I need somebody to hold my hand because I just shot somebody, right? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if a police officer shoots someone in a shootout, they get 3 days off of paid time leave because after that issue happens, you're not thinking clearly. You're all over the place. And they get that 3 day buffer. Well, normal civilians don't,
Yeah.
right? And you're not trained to do that. And so having somebody to hold your hand and walk you through the next steps is almost more invaluable than having somebody in court defending your case. So it's crazy when you start looking at actually what happens, and then when you start looking at how much it costs, right? Like I said, you're looking at $25,000-$30,000 a pop. If you have to go into court, you're easily going to touch six figures, especially if, heaven forbid, the court, right? Not everybody might live in a gun-friendly state, right? Like I said, we live in a legal system, not a justice system. So, when it comes to right to bear and self-defense, it's almost when you sit and think about it, you own a gun and you're like, why do I own a gun? It's for self-defense. Well, probably should throw that in the shopping cart as well.
Yeah.
And that's why here you don't need a concealed carry permit to carry a gun in the state of Kansas. But when somebody wants to conceal carry, I always recommend them take that course because there are legal stuff that you don't think about that they go over in that course. It's not as easy as, I shot the guy in self-defense. That's it. There's a lot of situations that you just don't think of, and then you could end up being the one going to jail if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the scariest part.
Yeah, no, I mean, you nailed it on the head. It's like, just because you live in a constitutional carry state, wherever it may be, you still need to take a course in your state to learn the rules and the regulations of what your state says you can and cannot do. It's great. I mean, if you're going to own a weapon that can kill somebody, you need to know a lot about the weapon, and two, about what happens if I do use it. And now in today's world, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Fox News put out an article on their website a couple of days ago talking about the boom of the concealed carry insurance industry since 2022. And now they mentioned U.S. Law Shield and USCCA, a couple of the players that have been around for some time. But it really, ever since 2020, people have kind of have had their eyes open about like, holy cow, like what if this comes to my city?
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember there was a little town here in South Carolina, Walterboro, South Carolina. It's basically between here and the Georgia state line, just a tiny little town right off of I-95. And there was a giant protest. Fortunately, and at the time I was writing normal insurance. At the time I had a couple clients there, and they were freaking out. They were like, "What does my policy cover if X, Y, and Z?" And I'm sitting here like, "You're on your own, man." Like, unfortunately, it's not that I'm here to leave you out to dry. It's just like your general liability is not going to cover you if somebody breaks into your car dealership and you open a 22 on them, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you're on your own. And when it comes to your personal home policy, you have no coverage of self-defense, and you damn sure don't have any coverage if you use a firearm in self-defense. So you're really on your own. So this like right to bear, like I keep referencing, it bridges that gap between you and being, pardon my French, but shit up a creek, right?
It's funny because my main job is actually an insurance adjuster for a homeowner's insurance. So I haven't run into a situation where somebody's had to use it for home defense, but I've seen a lot of claims people filed for drive-bys, especially in the not so nice area of downtown Kansas City. I get drive-by claims all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, golly, if somebody's hurt or one of your homeowners, one of your insureds takes action, I mean, they're on their own unless they have right to bear. So maybe when you're going through doing your drive-by claims, you drop a link, shoot them a text, say, "Hey man, you really should check this out."
Yeah, some of these clients, I don't know if they're actually able to legally own a gun.
Yeah.
Especially with what's going down there. But yeah,
that's right.
So we've started doing this gun of the week topic, and so we thought we would have you do, I guess, the gun of the week, whatever gun that you use for protection for yourself, whether you carry it or even just something that you use for home defense. What's your kind of go-to if you have one?
Yeah. Yes. So like I mentioned, we've partnered with Palmetto State Armory, well known, one of the biggest and best companies in the country. They're known for their ARs, obviously, but when it comes to home defense, their new PSA Dagger that came out last year, the 9mm, is super, super nice. It shoots well. It's super light, which is great. Very accurate. And what I'm most excited for is when they come out with their micro dagger. So they had it at we went out to SHOT Show in January together, us and PSA, and they were showing it off there. It's not quite done, but I'll tell you that the PSA Dagger is kind of our go-to, especially when it comes to home defense, because it's super quick and easy to use. It's one of those guns that you don't necessarily have to lock it up and completely hide it from the entire world, just because it's easy to handle. My wife likes to shoot it. We're continuing to work on our shot. She's probably better than I am, and that's something that unfortunately I'm working on that every single day. I think it's because she grew up doing it. I'll make that excuse. I didn't grow up shooting.
That's what my wife always says.
But no, what about you? What about you guys?
So I've actually changed. My go-to carry gun was Glock 26 in the winter, Glock 43 in the summer. But since the Hellcat Pros come out, I've kind of switched to that because I just love that gun. And that's basically summer or winter because it's thin enough, but holds, a lot more rounds than that 43.
Yeah, mine during the summer is the LCP Custom Ruger, and then winter is now my Glock 19. So,
and then home defense, I got a couple different options. I got a Glock 21, and then I have, depending on where I'm at in the house, I also have a Mossberg 590 tactical with some cool Magpul furniture on it. So kind of just depends. We don't have kids, so I don't have to lock up the guns as much as he does, since he has kids. So
yeah, I got mine. I got a little locker or safe right next to the bed, so it's got my FN in it with nice sights. That's my home defense.
Heck yeah. No, that's awesome.
So I've heard stories of when people use their gun in, say, self-defense in like a home defense situation. Some courts, depending on how they have that gun set up, have said, because you had that gun set up the same way, you were expecting somebody to break in, and then it's all on them at that point. Like, they're the bad guy. Have you guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys come across that, especially depending on states that aren't very gun friendly?
We haven't come across it, but that's right, and that goes more of like if you are in the process of defending yourself from a criminal charge. That's why you have to have, number one, you got to be properly educated and trained in your state to know what you can and can't have. The next is, you might have a jury that's full of non-gun people, especially if you're in a non-gun state. Now you're really digging out of a hole. Now you have to have somebody that knows their stuff in your state to defend you in front of them, saying that you were simply defending you and your life from someone that was trying to harm you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I mean, those hand in hand, the training and the education that you have to take upon yourself to get, plus properly defending yourself. And in that plus of defending, you have that attorney access that you can use at any point when you become a Right to Bear member. It's funny, when we first launched Right to Bear, it was like, yeah, we want to go after the red states, right? With being in South Carolina, we talked about hammering the SEC, right? The Southeastern Conference, from Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, all those states right there. But really, the people that need it are in the non-red states, right?
Mm-hmm.
The folks in California need it.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we can't offer it in Washington, but the folks in Oregon, right? The folks in Massachusetts and Connecticut, right? Unfortunately, Pennsylvania, it really depends on where in the state you are, but those are the people that need Right to Bear, because if you find yourself in some type of issue, you better have somebody that's in the foxhole with you, or else the financial repercussions is not what scares people as much as the criminal charges, because like you can make money back, right? Like you can earn money back, but you spend time in jail or something, what you did was not illegal, you just ended up on the wrong side of the fence. I mean, man, that's a brutal deal. And there's oh my gosh, on A&E, I'm trying to think, there's an episode on one of the shows I have on the channel, and I'll have to send it to you guys to get out to the viewers tonight. But there was an issue in South Carolina where there was a boy that had to defend somebody from intruding the home, and he shot them. Well, they went to court, and he actually lost and was on his own and served time because he defended himself. And somehow, some way, the courts deemed that he wasn't. And we're in South Carolina, right? I mean, it doesn't get any more conservative in South Carolina, or pro-gun, if anything, right? So you've I know we're harping on it, but I'm telling you, it's scary. You just don't want to be on the wrong side if you do have an issue. And when you start talking about, man, that's great, you're right, I do need that, and then when you hear $11 a month, I mean, you're gonna go have, like I said, you'll go to Zaxby's and get you the 5-piece tender and fries and extra Zax sauce and a Coke, and now you're $13 in the hole. Well,
Yeah.
Maybe you should hit the dollar menu and bought that Right to Bear membership,
Right. Yeah. So you guys have different tiers. And with the other right self-defense insurance companies out there, what kind of sets you guys apart from the USCCA and those other guys that have been around for a while?
Yeah, well, I think that we actually differ from each one individually, if that makes sense. So like if you look at us in USCCA, they offer so much of the ancillary things like the training and this and that and video and gear. And when you look at your bill, you a lot of times people are spending $39 a month. Well, if you can afford it, that's great, and you want all the glitz and the glamour, probably a better option for you. But for your normal everyday American who doesn't have $40 a month to spend on self-defense protection and a whole laundry list of other things, Right to Bear is probably your better fit. And then with some of the other competitors, we offer unlimited defense for both civil and criminal. A couple of the coverages and things that we offer that are included in that $11 a month is, expert witness. That would be if, let's use my dagger as an example. If somebody, right, in maybe not South Carolina, but somebody in Connecticut looks at it and says, well, you're actually not supposed to have something like that here, and lists off 10 reasons why, you can actually hire an expert witness from PSA to come and testify on your behalf to explain to the jury that, hey, this is the gun, this is what it's made, this is caliber it shoots with, blah, 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 blah. And now you've had somebody come and basically explain why, an expert on why this gun is used, in why it was used and what it's for, and the whole laundry list of reasons why. I think that's a great advantage that's included in that $11 a month on top of the civil and the criminal defense. The psychological support, I know that was a big thing that when we were polling people, they thought was a good coverage, just because, after you shoot somebody, you're going to be shook up. And if you do have some trauma from that, there is counseling that we can provide that's included in that $11 a month. I think another really cool coverage that people miss is, after you've been involved in a self-defense incident, you speak with an officer or a group of officers, they're going to take your firearm. They're going to take it. They're going to confiscate it, use it as part of the case until everything is resolved. And a lot of times, depending where you're at, it ain't coming back. It's kind of their way of getting back. Well, we actually will replace that gun equal to the same value of which you purchased it for. With us being so closely related to PSA, we're going to lean towards offering a Palmetto State Armory weapon. Now, obviously, you do have the choice of something different, but that's what we would originally provide. And Law Shield does not offer that. That's something they don't offer, and we're actually better priced, only by a few bucks, but we still are better priced than U.S. Law Shield as well. So, like I said, we've been around almost a year. I say a year, but it's been about 11 months. We've got over 7,000 members of Right to Bear, so we're really starting to scale. We got off the ground going a little bit, and then we really hit our stride, and we've now expanded our team all across the Southeast region of the United States, and are looking to grow throughout the rest of the country with people in the state, in classes, promoting Right to Bear here nationwide here in the next 24 months. So we're excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd rather pay for only what you need, Liberty Mutual saying there, but because I had USCCA for a while, and guess what? I never looked at or read any of that training stuff. Like, I'd never used any of that. It's like, if I could save the money and not need something that, get something that I don't need, but $11 a month isn't that bad at the starting one. And, especially like you said, when you actually need that, $11 a month is nothing compared to what you're going to pay in legal fees.
Yeah.
I know you have to get off here soon. So is it just right2bear.com, or what's the website, and how
Yeah.
can people
So
find out about it?
yeah, for sure. So right2bear.com was actually taken. So we use the URL protectwithbear.com. And that's where you'll find where you can purchase the policy or the membership, if we'll call it that. On the website, it takes you exactly through the coverages that are offered and the prices associated with it. There are a few add-ons that you can add to that $11 a month, like covering a spouse or your children, or if you need coverage outside of just your one state that you're in. There's a whole laundry list of coverages, but then you have those add-ons that you can build into your plan to get you as much coverage as you want and for your entire family. And like we discussed, would love to offer your viewers a little bit of a treat for having me on, a 10% discount to Right to Bear. So at the very last page of checkout, if anybody watching or listening to the show right now wants to sign up for Right to Bear and use your code Boomstick10, they get a 10% discount on a Right to Bear membership. So,
Awesome.
when you start looking at $125 a year, then you take away 10%, that's, another $13 they're taking off the top. So, for $115, basically, $108, you're looking at in my opinion, first class coverage, the best in the industry. I know our lawyers because I've set them up, but they're first class, and we have a great network that is willing and ready to step in if they ever need it. And that's where you can find us and find more. And then, I help oversee the customer service team as well. And we have a great group of folks that manage that. So if you have any questions, please send in an email, send in a call, and we'd be happy to answer any questions about the program. And like I said, if you're going to carry or you own a firearm and you own one for protection, this is a must.
Yeah, and it's just a great peace of mind to have for not much money per month. So yeah. One quick question before you go is, with the red flag laws coming out, would any of the levels provide any help with that? Say you have a neighbor that hates guns and finds out that you're into guns and somehow turns you in for a red flag for when you've done nothing. Is there a policy that would help you go through that process?
Yeah, that's actually something that currently no, but because of everything that is happening, that is a coverage that we want to provide as an add-on that you can purchase at, the base plan of $4 a month that you can add to your plan. So if there is a red flag law issue in your area, and then obviously brought to you, we would help in that case. So that will be coming out very soon.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good to know.
Yeah,
for sure. No, it's crazy, man. But guys, sorry to split. I guess it's getting to the part of the year where we need to start talking self-defense, and I double booked myself tonight with another show here shortly. But I appreciate you having me on, and I'd love to do it again in the future. And like I said, would love for all of your viewers to use your discount code and get that Right to Bear membership, get 10% off, and more importantly than the sale itself is make sure that you're protected and understand the laws of the gun laws of the state that you live in, because that's ultra important, because you never know when you might be that next person, and that's why we started Right to Bear, to make sure that we're protecting everybody.
Yep. And I will have links to everything down below in the description. So check that out. And Perry, thanks again for coming on, and definitely a lot of information people need to know.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. Thanks. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. So a
lot of information.
Yeah. Definitely something you don't like we said, a lot of people don't think about that.
No, that's the scariest part, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great price, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's their starting one. They have different tiers.
But still, $11 a month.
Yeah, that's
really.
That's not bad. Because I did have USCCA for a while, and it was expensive. I think it was like, at the time, this was probably 8 years ago or so. $35 to $40 a month, like you said. And yeah, it's cool because you get a magazine, you get all this other stuff, but it's like you'd flip through the magazine, that's it.
Yeah.
And the training material, again, that you have access to, I never looked at. So I dropped it because it was expensive. And, if you get their basic plan, $11, 10% off with our code, that's not bad, especially if you do carry.
Yeah.
Or if you do have a gun, even in your house just for home defense. Hopefully you never have to use it.
Yeah.
That's what we all hope, is we never have to use the guns that we have in self-defense, but it would be good to have that peace of mind, because I know I don't have the money to retain a lawyer.
Oh, no.
No, I'd have to do a second mortgage on the house or something.
Yeah.
And the fact that they would take care of that would great peace of mind.
Replacing the gun too. I mean, that, and I don't know. I don't ever want to be in that situation, but just knowing that peace of mind, I think, would help tremendously.
Especially if you're in a state that's not so
Yeah.
gun friendly and not as easy to protect yourself. Florida has your stand your ground law, which is great. Not every state has that, so they make it a lot more difficult to defend yourself.
And let's say you don't kill the person, they'll come back and try to sue you.
Yep.
It's like,
or you they turn as you shoot and accidentally hit them in the side or the back, and
so just having that peace of mind, I think, would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, definitely have the links. Like you said, coupon code at the checkout, Boomstick 10 for 10% off. So that's definitely basically saves your tax right there.
Oh yeah,
at least for our state.
Yeah,
we have almost 10% tax.
Yep. It's almost a month free if you think about it.
I know, but yeah, I was glancing at their website, and they definitely have different tiers and different coverages, especially if you have a large family that, trying to pull it up here. Yeah, $11 a month starting, and then it goes up, and there's stuff that you could add on. So multi-state coverage. So we would probably need, because
can still carry across state
lines, or when we went on our road trip to Nashville, we carried or had guns with us. So, and it's $4 a month for that multi-state, which is a no-brainer if you're going to travel anywhere with a gun. And since we live so close to Missouri, I mean, yeah, I definitely would do that. And then they got bail bond coverage, another $4 a month, and then minor household children. So if you want to cover them, another $4. So
$18 maybe max.
Yeah, so that's not bad at all.
No.
So I would definitely $11 plus multi-state. So bail bond might not be because
literally it seems like it's half the price of what you were paying.
But yeah,
it has better coverage.
It'd be nice, because then after the fact, you don't have to sit there and be like, crap, now I have to find an attorney.
Yeah.
Because really, you want to talk to an attorney before you say anything to the police.
Yep.
The police will seem like they're your friend, but they're really not.
Yeah, they're recording everything to use against you.
Yeah. So you definitely, before you say anything to the police and you have this, call their attorney, and it's got a 24/7 hotline, and they will tell you what to do to protect yourself. So even if you don't carry a gun with you, like we said, and you just have one in your house for self-defense, you never know in this world. And there's so many gun owners, like he said, after 2020, stuff kind of took off. Yeah, I can't tell you how many new gun owners that I sold guns to for the first time, and they were just looking for something to have in the house. Shotguns, and went like crazy. And
everyone, I think, panic
bought.
Panic bought because protesting was going everywhere. Everyone was trying to protect their property or family. So
yeah, and that's if you have to shoot somebody that is in a protest or a riot or something, you definitely want to have something like that, because who knows
what's going to
when
happen.
you can and can't use that in a riot or a protest. It's like the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah,
just that, and the other lawyers freaking flagging the whole courtroom and everything. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's scary because there's a lot of people that don't know anything about guns, and they'll make it seem like it's so bad. It's just like the media.
You mean like all the Democratic lawmakers?
Yeah, it's just like the media. Like they're gonna make everything look scary, bad, and try to scare you into saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have this," when it's really just a tool. So,
yeah. Do you see anything crazy in the news this week? I don't think I have.
Oh, I can't remember if I did or not.
We've been busy bartending and
I've been busy with kids, sports, school, and Boy Scouts.
man, I've been trying to get the Harley out whenever I can, and if I can do it during my lunch break, it's nice because there's less traffic and the weather right now has been like perfect. Like 70s, 80s. So I mean, perfect weather. I went this morning because I had to get gas. Still wear a jacket and everything, but it's mesh, so it's breathable. It was a little chilly.
Yeah.
It was like 60 degrees.
It
And
was
I'm like,
nice.
"Ooh."
Like I've been just driving around with the windows down, cruising.
Yeah, I found a good. There's really no good roads around here to ride a motorcycle. We're basically on a grid. There's stoplights everywhere, but I found kind of a good path to go. I ride from here to Heritage, right around there, and then I just take 159th down all the way to Mission Road, which is, I don't know,
Way out there.
way out there. And then they have a roundabout before you get to state line. So I just hit the roundabout, go down, and I take Null down to 143rd and take 143rd all the way over. Not a whole lot of stop lights. I mean, there's some,
Yeah.
but not a whole lot, and it's not as busy of an area. And the speed limit's 45, so go
Not too bad.
a little over that. And it's nice. It's just fun. I've gotten it up in the 5th gear, and it's just fun to cruise. I did it on a windy day, and when the wind's blowing and you're going about 50, 55, man, that's when I'm wishing I had some sort of fairing or windshield, because that wind really gets you. And it'll get in your helmet a certain way, and your head's like, between the vibration from the bike and just the wind, you're kind of like this, like, oh my God. So yeah, I definitely need to get some sort of windscreen or something.
Yeah.
And a louder exhaust. I mean, mine sounds loud when you're up and going, but just
Idle, you want it louder.
yeah, I want it louder. I got it. Loud pipes save lives.
Yeah.
But I've noticed I had to start wearing earplugs because the wind noise that gets up in your helmet, man, my ears start ringing like crazy.
Start putting noise canceling headphones in with music. You tried that yet?
Not yet. Not a bad idea. But it's just fun, just riding around. Yeah, I don't know. I never got that thing where it's people love to ride a bike because it's free or whatever. But yeah, it is relaxing. Like on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, not a lot of traffic, and just take it out on a nice day. It's fun to just relax, sit there shifting gears. It's fun, and yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. It's nice. Yeah, and you got to pay attention to everything because people don't pay attention. So
Yeah.
I'm constantly looking for potholes because I don't want to hit a pothole.
Yeah.
But then also, anytime an intersection comes up, I kind of roll off the throttle and kind of check and make sure nobody's coming. And luckily, I haven't seen anybody too crazy yet.
Yep. Gotta watch people around you.
Mm-hmm. That's why the weekends or like during the week, go off on off hours, like when everybody else is at work.
Yeah.
Take the bike out. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's been nice out.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice. I'm gonna miss this weather.
Put some miles. I've had to fill up like twice already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
So I saw you poured another glass. You don't hate it, do you?
No, I like it. It's actually really good on ice, I think. I think I've had it one other time, and I did it as a shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this ain't good. But on the rocks, it's pretty good.
My mom used to drink this with ginger ale. So Jameson and ginger. I've heard that. I don't like
That's
ginger
what
ale.
everyone says. Like, hey, I'm not a ginger ale person either.
So that's what she used to drink it with. I think my dad used to drink it with Sprite or something, but
Yeah, I bet it'd be pretty good because it does have that little bit of vanilla with a little bit of heat, and that ginger ale probably.
mm-hmm. Sprite wouldn't be too bad. But just on the rocks, I mean, if you
It's not bad.
can acquire that taste of drinking whiskey on the rocks, it took me forever to do, but it's good. Would I prefer the Black Barrel? Yes.
Yeah.
The liquor store that I go to down the street actually has been out of that for weeks now. So they had this, and it's about $10 cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean, really the biggest difference between this and that Black Barrel is just the smoothness.
Mm-hmm.
That Black Barrel is so smooth.
Yep. And I think this is 40%. I think the other one's the same percentage.
I think so.
But, yeah.
But it's good. I like it. It's not bad.
Although I did really like that last week, the triple mash.
Yeah, that was surprising because it did not taste like Jack Daniels at all.
And I did see a bottle at the liquor store today.
Yeah.
So it's available in our area now, which is nice.
Everyone's saying that and that triple bonded that we tried earlier, that was going to start becoming more popular and more available. And it's just not like a seasonal thing like they sometimes like to do.
Yep. Any guns on your radar?
No, I was thinking about building an AR, though, a pistol.
223?
Yeah, or a 300 Blackout.
I would do the 300 Blackout pistol and then get a suppressor.
That's what I was thinking. So I don't know. I've been thinking about it. And then I also thought about redoing my other AR, the blue.
Started seeing some stuff about the pistol brace thing. I didn't get a chance to look into it too much to see what exactly, but we'll look into it before the next episode. But yeah. I saw something to where you're going to have to register it the SBR as an SBR, and it should only take, what did it say, like 4 hours? But then they were still going to charge you the $200 tax stamp.
That's stupid. That, and then I think I sent you that link. I think I saw someone there trying to get rid of certain NFA items.
Yes, I don't think
it'll ever happen.
It would be awesome. But
yeah, like they were trying to get rid of the short barrel rifle, NFA item, and suppressors.
And why can you not have a short barrel rifle? It is less accurate.
Yeah.
Well, unless you have a fucking trench coat on, you're not going to be able to conceal carry it.
That and just about everyone, if you work on anything, you're going to have a saw in your house. And they always say, like, if you have the means to make an SBR, you can do it and you'd still get in trouble, even though it's not an SBR. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm pretty sure everyone in their house has got some type of hacksaw or some type of saw of some sort, or a copper cutter or something.
You're a pipe fitter. You got that.
So, like...
Yeah, I disagree with the whole... I could see suppressors being on there. I disagree with that too, but the fact that you can't have a short barrel rifle or shotgun is stupid.
Yeah.
It's less accurate. It's louder. You're not gonna be doing long distance shooting with it, and you can't conceal carry it. You can't hide it as easy as these Democrats think you can. You just can't.
I'd like to see them walk around with a shotgun down their pants.
I mean, could you do it? Yeah, especially back in the 90s when I was in high school, we were wearing those stupid baggy pants. Yeah.
The Jinko jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that stuff comes back in style at some point.
Oh, it will.
So, like everything, like the 80s came back, now the 90s styles are coming back. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing those baggy jeans again.
Yep. Flannels came back a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So it'll be back eventually. It might still be a fad and we just don't realize it because we're not in school.
Yep. But so going back to the registering, if you have a pistol brace, from a standpoint, our opposite standpoint, so from somebody that's like far left, that doesn't like guns, the government is obviously in debt, trillions of dollars. How can they get a lot of money back and also have people register their guns so you know what they have? You have them register those at $200 a pop. That is a shit ton of money.
Yeah, there's other ways though.
But if I want to get rid of guns or at least have a gun registry, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you register these. Let's be honest, it's a workaround for a short barrel rifle. Yeah. But that's how I would make $200 per, because a lot of people have more than one.
Oh, I know, but here's the thing though too, like,
so I got, not only am I getting to know what you have, I'm also getting $200 from you.
Probably more than 200 if you probably like 4 to 6. Most people have multiple.
So I'm at least getting $200 from you, and I know what you have.
Yeah, but how many people are actually going to follow that? To be honest,
I think
they've already got it.
I think more than you actually think, because
maybe the new gun owners that don't know any better, but a lot of the people that have guns, and I think they're gonna, I don't have that. What are you talking about? It's a full-fledged AR. See, and they'll put a buffer tube on it.
I wonder if there'll be a stipulation in there with that buffer tube, though.
That's the one thing too I want to read more about, because they just say pistol braces. I don't say anything about the pistol buffers and all that.
Yeah, just take the pistol brace off, and there you go.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think that's stupid in general, but
we'll see what happens. But it's a way for them to make money. I completely disagree with it.
I know another way they could make money, and it doesn't affect the guns at all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
Legalize marijuana. Yeah. And tax the shit out of it.
Which it's happening, and it's eventually going to happen.
Yeah.
Your red states are going to be the last to have that.
I mean, fuck our Declaration of Independence. It's written on it. So what the...
Yeah.
I heard a story a while back. I don't know how true it is. I want to go and actually do the research on it. They're talking about how the reason why they made marijuana illegal, it was for the cigarette and tobacco companies so they could make money.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have to think that they would almost have to redo the 4473 forms, because right now it says if you are a user of marijuana, you cannot have guns.
Yeah.
So even if it's a state that it's legal to have it right now, you cannot mark yes to that.
Yep.
So
what if your doctor writ you a prescription for it too?
You cannot. If you have a medical card, if you select that yes, you can't do it. That's why it's like it's not beneficial to have your medical card if you own guns, because they're illegal to have together right now. It would be nice if that changed, especially if federally they
make it legal.
And then it comes down to the state, but at a federal level.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Which is stupid, because it's legal in a bunch of states, but illegal in the federal level. And
apparently they're showing that they're proving that it does more good for you than bad. It's like what Mike Tyson said, your body wants it. That's why it stays in your system so long. Did you hear him say that? It's like cocaine's out of your system in 3 days? It's bad. Your body's trying to get it out of you. THC or from marijuana and everything is in your body for 30 days. Apparently your body wants to keep it in your body.
Maybe. You can do some research on that.
Yeah, but
again, a lot of times you smoke it, it's still really bad for your lungs.
Yeah.
Especially versus a cigarette, because there's no filter on it. So we got that.
But at least you'll be
long-term
happy and
issue.
Calm.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it freaks you out like some people.
Yeah. I don't know. But I don't know. They've raised the taxes on tobacco and everything, but
yeah.
So just bring marijuana.
Really. And then you have a lot less people going to jail for
weed
possession.
Which that's I think.
And that's where a lot of taxpayer money goes to is
jails for stupid crimes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the people that do life in prison for having a little bit of weed on them. Come the fuck on.
Right.
Really? Oh, I have to make it. That's one thing I hate about our justice system or our legal system, that you can have life for marijuana, but you can kill someone and get out off of it. That makes no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a standardization for certain things like that. I find that ridiculous.
Speaking of killing somebody, have you watched that Jeffrey Dahmer on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's name, but he's in most of the American horror films.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, the guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That guy. He's
yeah, really
good, and I don't like those kind of shows about serial killer. My wife loves it, that kind of stuff. I'm not, but there's something about this he portrays it really good.
I keep hearing good things about it, and I'm like, eventually I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
It sucks. I think they're about an hour-long episodes, but they're it's good.
Listen, I think Johnny Dare in the morning show, they were talking about it, and I guess he was talking about how some guy had his glasses, the original Dahmer glasses, and notes in his Bible and stuff, and they're selling it at auction right now, and they're getting a pretty penny for it.
From a serial killer.
Yeah, it's I don't remember what he called it. It was something like murder something auctions.
I wouldn't want anything from that kid.
No, because who's to say?
Fucked up.
I believe in ghosts and all that, and possession.
Yeah.
How do you know he didn't attach himself to that and possess, and then all of a sudden you become the idiot? You know, it's like,
Yeah, it's funny though because his dad in the show is played by the dad in Step Brothers.
oh really?
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know, you could tell that I don't know if you could say he was born that way, but his mom, I mean, he had to have been born that way because the way all the drugs that his mom did when she was pregnant with him and just his upbringing,
Yeah,
it's like that was
a lot of things. Like I remember doing ethics class. Everything we always talked about was how people are brought up, and the way they thought about ethics was mostly your childhood and how you were brought up and raised, and how if you have one parent that believes in fuck everything, that you're going to have the same mentality and things like that. Or so
yeah.
makes sense. But
With politics, if you grew up as a Republican, you're probably gonna
be a Republican.
be one unless
You're
you go to college in California and they turn you bad. But
they want you to be a him and a her, and
he, she, they, them.
that stuff's driving me nuts too.
Oh yeah,
How everything's changing. You gotta use my pronoun. All right, fine. You gotta call me the man.
I want to be referred to as doctor.
Yeah, doctor.
I'm not a he. I'm a doctor.
Yep.
Just doctor. Dr. White.
Let's do it. Let's start putting doctor.
Right. That's what I define myself as a doctor.
I'm a doctor, so I need to be paid as a doctor.
I'm a gun doctor. Yeah.
Dr. Chaos.
Cool. Well, I think we may wrap this one up under an hour this week.
That'd be crazy.
Just barely.
Yeah.
I know my timer says an hour, but we started recording a little bit early just
to test everything out.
to test everything out. Yeah. I had to fix a few things. This new Roadcaster is
Different.
and there's virtual. I think that's why I couldn't bring his buddy Andrew on, because I didn't have a fader set for him. And once you have virtual faders on here, but once you are recording, you can't go in and change faders. So that might have been an issue, I guess. I don't know. I've never had more than one guest on, so in Ecamm, so I don't know how.
We're learning.
Yeah, we are. I know how to do one guest now, so There you go. So we appreciate you guys watching and tuning in this week. Check out the description below for a link to the Right to Bear intro. I don't know why I want to say the Right to Bear Arms.
That's what I keep wanting to think too.
That's completely separate gun company, but Right to Bear Insurance. I forgot what he said the actual link. What their URL was.
Yeah.
But it'll be down there. Our coupon code Boomstick10 will be down there. Check it out for 10% off. And I think they were running something where you get a gift card to PSA. I don't know if that's still going on or not, but check it out.
Yeah.
They are awesome. If not, well, at least you'll have a peace of mind if you are a gun owner.
Yep. That's all you need is that peace of mind.
Exactly. Take us out, Chris.
Have a good one.